So last night I got booted from a league I had joined in DC Universe Online. I recently rejoined DC Universe Online, and since then I've already dropped $200 in it because apparently that's just what I do. I'm very susceptible to the freemium gaming model, but that's besides the point. I really regret coming back because I left. Because if I'm going to play an MMO, I want to be a part of the forums. I feel it's very important. It's a very integral part of the game. Your forums can literally change the game because people provide feedback, they report bugs, they connect with other people who play the game, they can literally suggest improvements, additions, so on and so forth. And sometimes, on this forum in particular, you can even find things like, what style would you like to see next? What base items would you like to see next? So on and so forth. So like you can literally shape the game by being a part of the forums. And so it's very important to me that I have access to the forums and that the forums are well moderated. Unfortunately, the last time they weren't. And apparently they still aren't. I was part of a league. We were having a discussion, a political discussion, about Joe Biden, and she said, well, you had to vote for Joe Biden because damage control. Like, sure, Trump's a fucking Nazi, but Biden's a racist. He's just a racist. I'm like, well, what's the difference between a racist and a Nazi? What's the difference between a white supremacist and a Nazi? I don't think there is one. And I think Nazis are literally defined by their hateful ideologies. So like a Ku Klux Klan man, a Nazi, a right-wing religious fanatic, they're all the same to me. So I'm not going to vote for one Nazi over another just because he's blue. And I started saying, you know, the Democratic Party kind of has a long history of voting with Republicans. I know they seem like they're constantly at each other's throats, but the Democrats have always been complicit. So I was criticizing the DNC. I was talking about how all these candidates ran and then they all dropped out one by one and endorsed Biden. They were the wind beneath his wings as the DNC propped up his corpse. Literally, nobody fucking wanted that dude. And yet somehow he became the nominee because that's just how the DNC works. Anyway, so I used to support Bernie Sanders from like 2016 to like recently. But the moment he once again dropped out, I really thought he was going to stick in it for the long haul because we believed in him. I supported him. I cheered at his rallies. I funded his grassroots campaign when I could, when I wasn't blowing all my money on video games, goodness. And somehow he still dropped out and he still kowtowed to Biden. And, you know, all of his rhetoric changed like that. You know, no more talk of Medicare for all. No more talk of the Green New Deal. The Democrats aren't pushing for that anymore. No, because Biden. Nothing will fundamentally change Joe Biden. The rapist, Joe Biden. Because, you know, they're both rapists. Anyway, they're both rapists. They're both racists. They're both homophobes. They're both transphobes. They're both all of that. And Kamala Harris is a fucking TERF. She put trans female inmates in male prisons. You know, these are just facts. They're not Democrat or Republican. You're both fucking awful. That's all I said. And like I thought she was a leftist like me because we literally met because she said, you know, I had a league that I was planning on starting my own league, which I should have stuck with. And I said, you know, I've got a league, Eat the Rich, but your league seems cool. Another, if I wasn't trying to start my own, I'd join yours. She's like, we'll eat the rich together. Disband and join ours. So I was like, okay. So it was fine for a while. But when I suggested that Bernie may have been part of a plan from the very beginning to drop out and endorse Biden and ensure his nomination, I said Bernie may have been a DNC plant. And she's like, oh, now you're just being a conspiracy theorist. You've entered full-on conspiracy theorist territory. What the fuck do you think collusion is? Why do you think we'd have a word like collusion if collusion didn't exist? Anyway, so she booted me from the league. I was really salty about it. I came on the forums. I'm like, hey, you know, they're going to boot you. Be careful joining this league. They'll boot you for no reason without warning. You know. And she responded by saying that I called Bernie Sanders a socialist Jew, a Nazi plant. So, naturally, I was infumed. How fucking dare she, first of all? I mean, I didn't realize till later how similar DNC and not C. You know what? My mic probably cracked out or something. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we were talking about Nazis and white supremacists, and then we moved on to talking about the DNC and how they rigged the nomination for Biden, who is a racist. And I don't know. I don't know if they were just still stuck on the Nazi part, but all I said was maybe it was planned from the start. Like, why the hell would Bernie run as a Democrat? They hate him. The Democrats hated Bernie, hated him. Why wouldn't he run green or as an independent like all of his supporters wanted him to? He had enough supporters that he could have succeeded as an independent. But no, he had to run with the Democratic Party. I said maybe it was collusion. Maybe he was a DNC plant. Maybe he's not as radical as he used to be. Maybe he was never as radical as he claimed to be, you know? And I was so confused when they booted me, but then it made sense. In retrospect, you know, it makes sense that they might have misheard. But I literally just thought they were lying through their fucking teeth. Like, why the hell would you say that about me? It's still fucking messed up that they didn't, A, clarify that they heard what they thought they heard, and B, that they went around telling people what they misheard as though it were fact. And C, that I told them, hey, I didn't fucking say that. Stop saying I said that. That they continued to say that I said that. So, either way, this person right here, the leader of the league, fuck her. How fucking dare she? And second of all, this person right here, when I defended myself, they were in this thread. This person and one other, Nabella Rin, were in the thread saying shit about me. And I defended myself and I said, here's what I actually said. And he snipped it out here so you can't even see. And he responded with something like, political discussion is against the form rules, though. I'm like, no, I literally said, in the thing that he quoted right here, I literally said, I'm not having a political discussion, FYI. I'm just saying this is what was said in League Chat. And this is what absolutely was not said. I was literally just setting the record straight. And I woke up the next morning. I had reported her to him. I had made a support ticket with screenshots. I should not be banned, but I am. Because I discuss politics on the forum. But here's where things get fucking icky. Icky. She's still here. She discussed politics and she slandered me. She made defamatory comments about my character. Defamatory? However it's pronounced. She said I said awful things, which I would absolutely never say. But she's okay. Even though I reported her, she's okay. But I'm banned for talking about politics when I didn't talk about politics any more than she did on this thread. And he started saying, anyone can invite or remove whomever they want from their league, as if that was the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is, like I just said, hey, beware this league. They might remove you for no reason. Like, sure, they can. But it's not a good league behavior. It's not good league leader behavior. You usually have to have a reason. If you just boot somebody after they've invested into your league. Like, I invested so much prestige tokens. It's an in-game currency. Don't worry about it. Into the league. And I'm just never going to get that investment back. Not to mention, it's just hurtful to be suddenly booted like that. Anyway, it was not about the booting. It was about the slander. It was about the defamatory comments. Defamatory. That's what it was about. And he's snipping it. So you can't even see what I said. You can't even see what it's about. He's controlling the conversation and trying to make it seem like it's about something that it was never about. And he got 4 likes. And I just know it was the people who were leaving defamatory comments about me. You bet Melisy Midnight, Nabella Rin, and Cyan Serenity were probably at least 3 of those likes that it got. Never mind they were doing it too. They didn't get banned. I got the instant ban. But more than that, half of my forum posts were stripped. I had like almost 100 forum posts, half of them gone. Watch. They didn't just ban me for that. They banned me for multiple guideline violations. The only other posts I had were a power set idea and a quality of life improvement. How the fuck? How the fuck did that violate the forum guidelines? I can't suggest a power set. How do you think we got water powers? People suggested water powers. That was literally a forum suggestion. People wanted that. They begged for it on the forums until they eventually got it. How the fuck is that a forum guideline violation? So fucking ridiculous. This is why I didn't want to return to DC Universe Online. This is why I left in the first place. It is so important to me to be a part of the forums when I'm playing an MMO, because you're literally shaping the game. Like, if you're not going to be a part of the forums, why play an MMO? Just go play a single player. Just ridiculous. So I screenshotted, I tagged some friends. I'm like, y'all know I would never say this, right? She fucking crazy, right? Yeah. They were like, yeah, I don't believe it for a second. I texted Mel on her Twitter. I'm like, you know, I'm so disappointed you. I feel betrayed. I feel pissed. I really enjoyed being in the league with y'all. To be suddenly given the boot out of nowhere and to find out you've been slandering, defaming me in such a horrible fashion. I was hurt. Because she was cool until she fucking started lying about me. I mean, again, in retrospect, she probably misheard DNC as Nazi. But still, not fucking cool to go around spreading lies like that. I tried to contact the original founder, Jax. I can't get a hold of anybody. The people who I talked to in game, they've all ignored me because they all believe I called Bernie Sanders a Nazi plant, because that's what she's going around telling people. I am a radical leftist. I would never. I'm no goddamn fucking conservative. Look, you see how there's 3 notifications? That means he probably found 3 offenses. He removed 2 threads, and then there was the whole incident with Mel and the slander. So, like, one of them is just probably saying, hey, this is a warning discussing politics on the forum, and then the other 2 is some other made-up offense. Because that's what he does. Fucking Mepps, man. He's why I left. He's why I left. Instead of being here playing DCUO, I was dropping $2,000 in Warframe over the course of a couple years. Y'all could have been getting that money. Jack Emmert, CEO of Dimensional Inc., formerly Daybreak Games, formerly Sony Online Entertainment. You could have been getting this money, but that moderator that y'all let do whatever the fuck he wants, he drove me away. He's literally costing your asses money. And if he did it to me, you better believe he's done it to others. I can find records. Okay, so I'm going to be reviewing a couple of comments. This guy was the first person to comment. He says, Midnight is as bad as Mepps is. If you disagree with either of them, you're kicked from their league or forums. LOL. Had a friend that was in Midnight's league that was kicked because he was a bigot for playing with certain people that wasn't in the league. Now, this dude, I don't know how he always finds me. Like, I guess he's on the forums, and then I leaked my player name on the forums, and so he would sometimes send me tells in the chat in the game. He seems cool. I'm a little worried by the name, that he's one of those people who's just like edgy for edgy's sake or offensive for the sake of being offensive. I'm a little worried, but for the time being, at least he seems cool. It is weird that he found my YouTube really quickly, because I didn't actually share it anywhere on the forums or in game, but he just found me like that, and he left a comment. I don't know if they would call someone a bigot just because they were playing with people outside of their league. But then again, they went around telling people I called Bernie Sanders a Nazi because I criticized the DNC. So I don't know what they're capable of. I really don't know. Maybe this is just something they do to people they don't like. They just go around slandering them. This dude, I don't dig him. He's like, oh, it's basically your fault that it happened because you were discussing politics, and it wouldn't have happened if you weren't discussing politics. I tried to explain to him that that's not the issue. This dude was a bit more receptive. He had a similar comment, so I explained it to him as follows. The original issue was that I was suddenly and rudely booted from the league without cause. I then discovered that something I said was misheard in the worst possible way. I'm assuming the best here. I think they must have misheard me. It's either that or they're just actively making shit up. Which, you know, apparently is something they might do. And that they were going around saying I said something I didn't say, something heinous. at which point the issue became slander, defamation. I defended myself, stated what I had actually said, and I absolutely did report them the proper way, as I stated in the video, only to find myself banned instead. Politics were never the issue. I did not discuss politics on the forum. I did not try to expose anybody. I merely defended myself from false accusations stemming from what I hope was a misunderstanding caused by a bad microphone that just so happened to occur during a discussion that happened to be political. Understand now? He did. He got it after that. And here's something I have to showcase. Just play solo until you find a true group of friends. League with them and stick with only them. If you do change your mind, aka about staying and continuing to support the game, I recommend you delete the video or the devs will trace all information you gave out and ban everything they can. The devs will trace all the information you gave out and ban everything you can. Pay attention to that. This is why Mepps needs to go. Any criticism on the forum earns you a ban. Criticize them elsewhere, they'll still ban you, except the ban will then extend to the game. This has happened to many players who have sunk in a lot of money into each of these games. So then they're locked out from all of their accounts, not necessarily just DCO, but all of the games like EverQuest, PlanetSide, H1Z1 used to be on there. Like they'll do that. Like this has been happening for a decade, back like in the SOE days, in the Daybreak days, and now they call themselves Dimensional Inc. Like this is what they do, and this is why I didn't want to come back to the game. Because of Mepps. Because of power tripping that goes completely unchecked. You have a problem with Mepps, you talk to Mepps. You see the issue there? We can't even trust the police to police themselves. And they're a whole organization. How are you going to trust one person to police themselves? People are not going to hold themselves accountable, people. You have to have other people. And then people for them, too. Like, there's got to be layers. The fact that this is just an open secret, remember that. Because this is just, it's as people know because it's happened time and time again. And that's why I got like a whole bunch of tweets basically saying, fire Mepps. Mepps needs to go. Like, and that leads me to this. This dude. So after I tried to appeal my ban, basically Mepps said, appeal denied. Not, why do you think we should appeal your ban? Not, do you think there was a misunderstanding? Like, there was no, like, chance to make my case. He just said, appeal denied. And then he said, I said, but why though? He said, your ban will expire in 7 days. And this dude right here, this is what we used to call fanboys. I don't know if that's still the word we use. But it's real toady energy. Like, just watch. I'm sorry, but this type of behavior is pretty evident why you were banned. IDK how or why you think attacking the community manager will help you in any way. Honestly, Mepps, I don't think he even deserves to ever have this ban lifted. And with this kind of toxic, disrespectful behavior, there's 11 Twitter posts cussing and freaking out, blowing up about a ban. That again is likely because of this behavior, along with 5-6 posts calling for Mepps to be fired over and over because he banned him for breaking TOS community standards. Coupled with videos of him complaining, all because 18 likes were lost? Really get real. I'm sorry, I try to be as positive a player as I can, but damn. You violate any TOS, you're putting yourself out there to be possibly get banned. Grow up, shrug it off your shoulders, and move on with your day in life. After all, it's just a video game, and for you to take so much time and effort to bash someone so much for doing his job, it's unreal. Come on. And so I go on to tell him what is already well known. Mepps has a long history of banning players who critique the game, no matter how constructive their criticism, and of playing favorites. I did not violate the TOS. I did not violate any forum guidelines. I reported a player who was slandering him and woke up the next day banned. Mepps is the reason I left DCUO years ago and the reason I was hesitant to come back. This isn't just one bullshit incident. It's a pattern of behavior that spanned almost a decade now. You're just stroking his ego so he doesn't target you next. You know damn well. And it's the truth. Everybody knows. If he's been playing for any amount of time, like more than a couple years, he knows. Anybody who gets on Mepps' ban side, he will pull a reason out of his ass. And sometimes he won't even bother justifying it. It's like, you're on. Like, just like up here, just like the same thing. Like, your ban will expire in 7 days. Appeal denied. No explanation. Nothing. He doesn't even feel compelled to explain himself anymore. It's no longer necessary. He's been doing this for 10 years. He's never gotten in trouble for it. Why would he? So, fuck this dude. Fucking toady ass bitch. And then 6 people just like the last one. It's just a video game, and for you to take so much time, like 6 people. All DCUO players, clearly people whose Twitter account is only DCUO. You know, for someone who says it's just a game, your Twitter feed suggests that maybe it's kind of important to you. Just a game. Just a game. Not a community. Not a franchise or a property you love. Not something you enjoy and play daily. Not something you invest money into. Just a game. Just a game. Look at it. Look at it. I could scroll and scroll and scroll, and what do you see? DC Universe Online. I at least diversify my Twitter account a little bit. I don't have a Twitter account specifically for DCUO. So maybe you telling me it's just a game is a little bit ironic. I'm just saying. It's just a game. And you see how you tried to belittle it? Only this over 18 likes? No, sweetie. No. I lost 5 likes. I was at 18, now I have like 13. I lost 5 likes. That's not what it's about. It's about the fact that I now realize, at first I thought he removed half of my posts. But then it turns out I discovered, here, let me show you. He specifically removed all of the threads I started. All of them, like even more than I thought is missing. Like every single post I made is gone. All of this that wasn't like removed, stripped completely from the forums, this is me replying to other people's threads. My replies are there, but all of my threads are gone. So like it's even worse than I thought. So what justification, if he's just doing his job, what justification is there for removing all of my threads regardless of what they were about and if they violated any guidelines? Like I had threads that were just constructive criticism, feedback, power set ideas, no toxicity there. There's no argument in the threads. It was all peaceful, and they're just gone. Stripped. But he's just doing his job, right? Let me show you something. See if I can't find it. This is just one of the many old accounts I had. I had a clown, like a Joker hero. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I had a Joker villain. I called him Sergeant Slapstick. I can't spell Sergeant anymore. Anyway, I won Forum User of the Month once. Like there was a whole thread where like I had a whole Q&A. Like I had an attack. Like I had like an online presence, and I was, how do I put this? I was erased. I wasn't banned. See? Sergeant Slapstick. I was voted for. Let's see where else. Slade Wilson was like, no. Anyway, I had my own fucking forum thread where I like won Forum User of the Month. Like, I had a presence on the forum aside from just my most recent account. Like, I think I've had maybe 3 accounts. And I just get banned every time. Every time. Sergeant Slapstick. I forget what my other one was. It was probably Hungary or some shit. Basically, spelled like this. It just means hungry in Japanese. I was in a weeb phase. Don't judge me. No, even that's been completely erased. Like I just okay. So when you log into the forums for the first time, let me show here. Let me showcase it here. Come on. This is what you come to, right? You have to write in your name. This is what you'll be known as on the forums. Now, at the time, I was known as Sergeant Slapstick. I had really like found a niche in the forums. I had people. I was posting constantly. I was posting feedback. I made friends. And one day, I got banned. And like I went to dispute the ban on the Twitter. And I guess I just pissed Mepps off further. And so he just erased my account altogether. Like Sergeant Slapstick is gone. And so I logged in. And it was like I was new to the forums. I couldn't use the name, which I really liked. It was like I had been completely erased altogether. That's not ban. That's not a ban. That's just like he went outside of his job description to spite me. Think about that. You log into the forums, you're not banned. You're not banned. You're not being punished. You just find that your account is completely gone and they're going to make you sign up under a new name and you don't have to start all over. All your posts are gone. All your likes are gone. Your online reputation is like a clean slate. You have to choose a new name even though you really liked your old one. Like there is no official... This isn't an official punishment. He just straight up like he fucked with my account to spite me. Mepps did. Think about that. And yet, this fucking dude, you're attacking people just for doing their job. Mepps doesn't do his job. He power trips. Think about that. Imagine logging into your forum account. You've been posting for years. You know, you've ranked up. You've got a bunch of likes. You got a really strong reputation on the forums. People know you. They like you. You know, they even voted for you to be the Forum User of the Month at one point. And all of your posts are just gone. Just everything you've ever written has just been stripped from the forums. There's no official method to do this. This was like him actively tampering with my account in a way that is like not allowed in the TOS. Not allowed. Mepps is petty and it's always personal. Like just deal with it. Deal with it. So this is my old forum account. I was known as Colromaniac. And this is just one of many forum accounts that I've lost thanks to Mepps and his bullshit. I will say this right now, this account was not banned. The truth of the matter is actually a lot stranger. I'll show you it after I show you some of the typical posts I might make on the forums. This one here is suggesting that your mentor does not determine your power origin, tech, magic, meta, whatever. I basically said, hey, you know, from a lore perspective, I kind of want to maybe be a magic villain or a meta villain, but have Joker as my mentor still. So that's basically what I said is you know, separate the mentor and power origin. Because if you choose Joker, supposedly you're a tech villain. And I didn't like that. So that's one example. This one's actually the one that got me banned, if I remember correctly, which, you know, I might not. Look how long ago it was. It was in 2016. very beginning of 2016, it looks like. I post about like things like anniversary items or things that just come up every year, like around December for people who are legendary at the time, like the servo bot or the partially assimilated servo bot or the Tom bot, little trinkets like that. Like I just say, hey, all of these exclusive items, can we not? Because they're fun now for the people who get them, but for the people who miss out and then can't get them later, it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of enough to drive a person crazy if they're enough of a completionist, because they'll just never be able to complete it. And I said, why don't you just keep it? But like if you get it for free during the anniversary, but if you don't get it, you can buy it later. And while this actually got me banned, they ended up taking my advice 2 years later with this. This is still available for sale in the marketplace. And this, which I specifically mentioned in that thread, was also brought back in the starter pack by LexCorp. Like this was a anniversary exclusive, and now you can get it again. Like anytime you just buy the starter pack, the Let's Core starter pack, it's like $8. Boom. You made $8 by bringing back an item and bundling it with some gear and shit. Like you're making money, and you don't even have to create new things. You literally just you already had it. You already had this digital asset. Now you're making money with it. You get the Daybreak emblem. Boom. You get this bat suit, and boom, you made money by just keeping this asset in the marketplace. People got it for free for logging in during the anniversary, and now people can just buy it. There's no saltiness. People can get it if they want it, as opposed to just never being able to get it ever. You see, they used my idea, the idea that made Mepps so mad at the time that he banned me. And then, what is it, the 9th or 10th anniversary? 2020 anniversary items. Oh, I should obviously specify. The Royal Chroma materials. People got free Royal Chroma materials. And now look, it's for sale in the marketplace. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I gave feedback that ended up being implemented. Any money you make from this or this, that's because of an idea I posted on the forums. Like, goddamn, I got banned and y'all made money because y'all didn't like the criticism. Actually, I have to say this again. I was not actually banned. Let's go over that now. First, I'll show you, like, look, I just posted Ink Powers. The emblem that came back. Rainbow Powers. You know, these are actual DC characters that you could base a power set on. I post about like this fun time that I had with this gaming league I used to be in. You know, it's lighthearted, it's fun, it's feedback, it's ideas. This is what I post. I'm not some fucking troll. And like in this case, I literally gave you an idea to increase your revenue that you used. And this is the one that got me banned. This is the one that pissed Mepps off so much. He banned me for it. And again, I have to say this again because I'm not quite banned. I could log in on this account, but there's a catch. Here's where you'll see it. Here's where you'll see it. Look, I even won for a member of the week once in 2015. Here's where you'll see it. Here's the kicker. Here's the undeniable evidence that somebody went out of their way to fuck with me. They abused their authority to tamper with my account so that when I logged in the next time, I was treated as a new user. I had to re-sign up. This is not a mistake. I did not log into the wrong account. I had been on this posting forever. I'm not going to forget my login details, for fuck's sake. You know, I didn't accidentally log into the Xbox or the PS4 or the Nintendo Switch. This is my PC login for Colromaniac. And what happens? Colromaniac's gone. He's erased. My online presence is erased. You click on the profile name, it says this user's not available. This user can't be found. And this is just one of my accounts that got fucked with. This is just one of them. I've had so many accounts before this one and accounts after this one because I try so hard to be supportive of this game, to be supportive of this community, despite what Mepps puts me through. And this is how I get treated. This is what they do. They abuse their authority to fuck with me. It's personal. They're fucking with me personally. It is personal. It is not them doing their job. That is not in their job description. They are fucking with me. Fucking with me and my shit to get to me. This is a clear and blatant abuse of authority. So I finally got back into the forums. Naturally, the first thing I did was respond to the inbox messages where Mepps pulled the official sounding reasons for my ban out of his ass. First I said, hey, just for the record, the issue is never about being removed from the league. The issue is that they were slandering me, saying I made horrible anti-Semitic comments that I would never in a million years utter. Even at gunpoint, I would have gladly taken it somewhere privately, but their slander was public, so my defense had to be public too. Also, as I clearly stated in the post you snipped so that you can control the conversation, imply that the issue was something other than what it was. I was not discussing politics. I was merely stating what I had actually said, as opposed to what they claim I said. Here is the first official sounding reason for my ban, blacklisting. If you do not know, that basically means that if you had an issue with someone, you talked about it publicly, you named names. Say somebody's saying some racist shit in the chat, and you take a screenshot, and then you share that with the community, boom, you're banned for blacklisting. Because apparently calling out racism is worse than racism. Fucking asshole. And the irony is, technically, I got banned for blacklisting my blacklisters. The whole reason blacklisting allegedly exists is because Mepps said it's too easy for someone with an axe to grind to make shit up to get people up in arms. That was his actual words. There was a person, NU Michael Meadows, and some stuff was circulating, just screenshots of tells he sent. And he said a whole bunch of racist, horrible, awful shit in those tells. Like the N-word with the hard R kind of shit. Like jokes about lynching kind of shit. Like just racist, horrible, evil fucking shit. And somebody started sending tells, and they like posted about it. And they got banned for blacklisting. The irony is, in this case, the whole reason blacklisting isn't allowed is because of cases like this. Because somebody could literally make shit up and cause actual damage to people's reputations, to their relationships. Like none of my old friends in the game will talk to me because all the friends I'd made were made through that league. And she went around telling people that I called Bernie Sanders a Nazi plant. So she actually blacklisted me, and she actually did it in a way that's the whole reason this rule is there in the first place. And because I called her out publicly for blacklisting me, but at the time I called it defamation and slander. Technically, all three terms fit. Blacklistings, defamation, slander, it all fits because I didn't say that and I would never say that. But I got banned, ironically, for blacklisting my blacklisters. And I say as much. I say openly accusing another player or group of misbehavior results in non-constructive discussion and is not allowed. You may discuss the type of behavior at issue, but specifically naming individuals or groups is not allowed. In cases of exploiting, harassment, or other violations of conduct, please submit a ticket to customer service for investigation. Fun fact, I did. They said they don't do that. They don't do that. If it's an issue on the forums, you have to talk to a community manager. You can't contact customer service and make a ticket over that. What stays on the forums, what happens on the forums stays on the forums, basically. If you want to talk about something on the forums, you have to talk to him. He's your only go-to, which isn't great because he's a fuck up. So I say, so obviously you're referring to my calling them out for slandering me, and yet you didn't ban them for claiming that I called Bernie Sanders a Nazi plant, aka wrongfully accused me of making anti-Semitic comments, even though that's damaging to my reputation both here and on the forums. I wish I could edit this. I'm going to edit it. For some reason I can't edit it. So on the forums and in game is what I meant. In caps lock. So yeah, that's all I said. I said I literally got banned for blacklisting people who blacklisted me. And if you don't see how that's some bullshit, well, of course you don't. So it's fine for them to slander me, but calling them out for slandering me in the same forms that they slander me in, that's not okay. Meanwhile, the people who blacklisted me probably didn't even get a warning. Literally, the whole reason that blacklisting isn't allowed is because it's so easy for people with an axe to grind, I'm quoting because he literally said this, to make stuff up, to get the community up in arms, and yet when exactly that thing happens, the one who is supposed to be protected by the rule is the one who gets banned for it. I was literally blacklisted by Meliseed Midnight and Cyan Serenity and Nabella Wren. People I played with in-game no longer speak to me because they went around saying I said things I did not say, aka blacklisting me, and I got banned for calling them out for blacklisting. They didn't even have screenshots, just word of mouth. Yet you'll defend new Michael Meadows for his racist tells, but not me, an actual leftist progressive, for actual slander. And then all the other things I've said, and I know this is enough to get me banned, because I'm not just kissing his ass and saying, yes, sir, sorry, sir, won't happen again, sir. This is accusing others of trolling, calling someone a troller, accusing someone of trolling is a form of trolling in itself. If you feel someone behaving in this manner is not consistent, if you feel someone is behaving in a manner not consistent with these rules, please use the report the post to a moderator function on the forums. Well, gee, I'd love to report that to a moderator. Only problem is, who do I report if the moderator's the one trolling? You should be fired. That's not me. He literally says, examples of personal attacks, aka insults, include calling someone stupid, saying you suck, I wish you would die, or you should be fired. You should be fired. That's not me trolling or insulting. I honestly don't think you deserve this job. You routinely abuse your authority and play favorites. And despite all of my allegedly rule-breaking posts being in that one thread, you somehow managed to justify deleting every thread I ever made. If that's not a personal attack outside of your job description, I don't know what is. Literally, how the fuck do you justify that? You can't. You were literally just fucking with me. You literally just were trolling me, personally attacking me, abusing your authority. So yeah, Mepps, you deserve to be fired. And if saying you deserve to be fired is against the rules, considering you're the one that makes the rules, I bet you get told that a lot, huh? I bet you've been told that a lot in the past decade as you continue to fuck up left and right and drive players away with your bullshit. So yeah, That's all I said. You have a record of like my actual posts. Like this is the only post I've made since returning. I politely set the record straight. And I left some sassy responses. Sassy, but not rule breaking. Not technically. But of course, you know, when he's the one that determines what's rule breaking and what isn't, I guess anything's rule breaking. Especially when you make the rules. And you could just pull shit out of your ass like this. So, I got banned for blacklisting my blacklisters. I got banned for insulting and trolling the people who were insulting and trolling me. Meanwhile, the actual people who were insulting, trolling, and blacklisting, they're free to continue posting. So, and then they said it publicly in this league recruitment thread. And he says, oh, you should take that private, not in a recruitment thread, quoting me. Like they said it publicly. I would have gladly taken it somewhere privately, but their slander was public, so my defense had to be public too. And that's just literally me defending my right to defend myself. And instead I got banned for blacklisting. That was one of the previous bans. Like, I'm banned for blacklisting, trolling, insulting. Just his ability to pull reasons out of his ass. Just official sounding reasons out of his ass. It's like, it's endless. And it all started, like, that's when it really kicked into gear. That's when he really started focusing on me. When I reported Melusine Midnight for the slander. And she was fine. She didn't get in trouble for slandering me. But I now have to basically watch everything I post, because any post is going to be, like, if he finds a reason, and if he can't, he'll make up a reason. Like, just, I can't be a part of the forum so long as this dude, like, look at him. He has the most punchable face I've ever seen. And I mean, this is coming from a mentally ill nerd who is more than a little annoying himself. But what the fuck? He even looks like an asshole. Just an ornery, stick up his ass and sideways asshole. Some people, they get the face they deserve. I'm just look at this dude. So, because he banned me for saying ACAB, I'm like, hey, ACAB isn't an insult, it's a fact. And I called him out. I said, you know what? You're basically being a Blue Lives Matter supporter. You're defending cops from insults. So you might as well put this thin blue line flag in your signature if that's the way you want to be, you white supremacist asshole. Because the only people who's going to ban you for saying ACAB are the same people who are going to ban you for saying Black Lives Matter. Like, the two are synonymous. You know, you can't support Black Lives Matter and not support ACAB. They literally have the same meanings behind them. Like, they're literally all just about how cops every fucking day, they're always out there killing unarmed black people, or disabled people, or they're harassing gay people, so on and so forth. I mean, mostly black people, obviously. And then this white supremacist has the gall, out of all the characters from the new DLC, all the different Wonder Woman variants, the profile pictures for his profile. This is his Twitter profile. He manages the official Twitter. This is Mepps. And the official profile picture is Nubia. Is this like digital blackface or something? Especially since he clearly doesn't care about black lives. Like, he's gonna be like, oh, look, we've got this diverse character. Like, look, we've got a black hero now. I am all about representation in media, but this is a little too on the nose to make it the profile picture of a cishet white dude who clearly loves fucking cops. Cops would kill Nubia, or she'd be forced to defend herself. I mean, it's a superhero. She could deflect the bullets more than likely, but the point is they would try to kill her. And you fucking worship them. So, fuck you, Mepps. You racist, white supremacist asshole. I've got to make dinner. I've got a cat who wants my attention. I wish I could have my fucking money back, since clearly you're not going to let me be a part of this game. I left for a couple years. I was gone. I tried to give y'all another chance. I'm a fucking whale. Like, I'm what in MMORPGs and freemium gaming they call us whales. People who spend way too much money on free games. Like, that's what I am. Like, you could have been getting, when I was spending like $2,000 on Warframe, that could have been going to y'all.
It's very obvious they don't want you to actually try to appeal the ban. You know, I'm like, you guys tell us, get in, contact with the community manager. Talk to a community manager if you want to appeal your ban. But all the community managers are on the forums. And really, the only one that controls anything is Mepps. So, you know, I'm like, really? Really? Y'all don't even give us a link or nothing? Like, and he says here, now, I thought this was strange, and I openly said so. I says, or you can use a different account to send a private message. He's actively saying that you can create another forum account to circumvent your ban, to try to appeal your ban, and that's fine, apparently. And I said, it's basically a universal forum rule that creating another account to avoid your ban, well, that'll usually get your temporary ban upgraded to a permanent one. Like, it's just, if you've been on enough forums, it's one of those universal forum rules. But here's where the kicker comes. I was doing research using any like combination of DCUO ban, DCUO ban, forum ban, Mepps ban, so on and so forth. And I found some tweets from him in 2017. Here we go. He was banned for, quote, spam. And he created an alternate account so that he could appeal his ban. And he got permabanned. You are using an alternate account to avoid a forum ban on another. Keep in mind, this is the same dude who like kept sending me tells in game after I shared my character name on the forums. This is the same dude who was like the first to comment on my video. Like, this is him. The fact that he'd be one of the first I'd dig up. Like, I just do some research now because I'm trying to find examples so I can make videos, so I can call attention to this issue. He said something very poignant here. It's why I don't sub to this game anymore. If we as a customer can't openly state our opinions and concerns on their forums that is meant for us, the players, then they aren't getting my money anymore. Sound familiar? Sound like me? Yep. And yet both he and I, despite repeatedly getting abused by Mepps like this, we keep coming back to this game because we like the game. We don't like Mepps, but we like the game. And here's this guy saying, I was banned from the forums for saying time capsules are gambling and DCUL could learn from Battlefront 2. It's a bullshit ban and you guys know it. And since there's no way to appeal it, this is all I can do. In response to, once again, you were using an alternate account to avoid a forum ban on another. So I'm critiquing them for saying contact a community manager if you want to appeal a ban, because like they don't give you a way to contact them, and now he's actively telling me to do something that other people have gone from a temporary ban to a permanent ban for doing. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? So, you criticize the game for the loot boxes. You criticize the game for the lifetime sale. You criticize the game because all the new content is just more time capsules, more loot boxes, more styles, no new powers, no new weapons or movement modes. It's just it's the same shit every month. Like any sort of criticism, no matter how you word it, no matter how constructive you are about it, I'd like new types of content besides just just new styles and new loot boxes or whatever, they'll ban you for it. And you say, I don't think it's moral. Like, selling stabilizers for time capsules, I spent $200 on this. I used to be addicted to scratchers. Like, this is like preying on people like me. So, yeah. They are running an illegal lottery, easily the biggest scam in gaming today. You are a threat to their continued practice for this, and for speaking the truth, you got banned. Exactly. That's how, see, that's how DCUO operates. Kiss ass or get banned. Remember my video with whatever the fuck his name was? That's how it goes. And they know it too. I can't take it anymore. I really want to play this game, especially after all I've invested into it, but I can't play it so long as Mepps is the one running shit. Because he's fucking crazy. Like, look at what he does. Look at all the different people. Like, if you Google it, if you look up Obsidian Chill, Smile Before Death, just random not famous people who don't have like a huge following on YouTube, there are so many fucking people who've just had problems with Mepps. Ted Stone, aka Mepps, the senior community manager. So many people fucking hate this dude because so many people have been done wrong by him. Any sort of criticism, no matter how constructive, no matter how nicely worded, ban. You take it, you take it to Twitter afterwards, you take it to YouTube, doesn't matter. You are not allowed to talk about it. If you talk about it and they can link it back to you, banned. There's some common themes here. Mepps has sort of an in crowd. They're called they have like a design council. If you're familiar with it, a lot of MMOs, if you're very well liked on the forums, if you give a lot of good feedback, you can basically get into a design council, and then you could have like a decision making role in like any updates or revamps, etc. Like, you get to basically see things ahead of time and sort of vote on like what you think is best. Warframe had it for a while. DCUO definitely had it. They called it the Round Table or something. After SOE became Daybreak, they renamed it to Roundtable, I'm pretty sure. But the point is, there is an in crowd, and on multiple occasions, people have felt there has been favoritism in regards to moderation. Basically, you piss off the wrong player, like Michael N.U. Meadows, or Brittany, or Super Patriot, that you could risk getting banned because there's just strong favoritism at play. And then the feeling like, okay, I criticize the marketplace revamp. Well, this is back in 2015. And now they have so many other new monetization things. They've got the lifetime sale a while back. They've got the loot boxes. Anybody who criticizes an update to the game, especially monetization related things, immediately banned for criticizing. Not because they were trolling or insulting, but because they criticized the game. Just period. Like, it's been well documented since literally the forum's inception. As you can see, there's a lot of people here. This is literally the Joker's Funhouse refugees. The Joker's Funhouse is a section of the forum. It's basically the post whatever you want section. The general, I don't know how to describe it. I'll come back to this later. Yeah, here it is, the off-topic section. So they're literally refugees from the forum. I'll get to all this later. It got so bad that I stopped commenting for a while and just reported comments that would get me banned if I said it. Then I got banned for over-reporting. This is a continuation of this. To be honest, my attention span isn't as long as this post, but I can't believe they found an even more asinine reason to ban than non-constructive, which was applied to a lot of my posts that, had they been written by someone else, were completely inoffensive, honest feedback. Now they're even more blatantly making rules up as they go. So this person was driven away by the forum moderation. It got so bad that I stopped it. Yeah, I think I already read that. This is why I rarely risk posting anymore. The mod team is fickle and arbitrary, and I got tired of guessing what may get me banned. As far as discussing moderation, I think that evolved into acknowledging the mod team or rules even exist. Yep, that's about accurate. That's still true in 2020. Most of the mod team is gone. I'd feel free to start posting if you like. Nope. Nope. Mepps is asinine for all of the mod team together. Yeah. It's like, oh, we think we're safe because they laid off all the mods. Nah, Mepps is a one-man army when it comes to being an asinine moderator. We have the forums so that we can have constructive discussion. We don't want you to be either negative or positive. We want you to be truthful. But we want you to be truthful in a way that doesn't involve personal insults to developers or to other players so that discussion can continue and actually be meaningful and useful for making the game better at the end of the day. What a load of bullshit. Mepps, with all due respect, and hi, Supreme Monarch here. See, that's one of my old friends from the good old days. There are many, many, many times people have been wrongfully punished. There are people on there that insult such and such day by day, yet nothing is done. There are people that have been helpful from the get go and had meaningful conversation and are very nice, yet are treated like crap, and they do the necessary steps to see some sort of action. However, there is none taken on the perpetrators, it's taken on the victim. God, that feels so fucking familiar, doesn't it? Melusine Midnight. I literally reported her for spreading defamatory comments about me, and I woke up the next day to find myself banned for blacklisting. Bullshit. I know you're our only moderator, but you guys need some form of filtration to help out. Whether there be inside moderators for that forum alone, that's too much for one person. When people like Phoenix and Little Sister can be permanently banned, there's something not wrong. There is something wrong. It's not like they are negative people. They aren't. They were just vocal and passionate, and that got them banned. Absolutely, yes. You'll have to be, forgive me for being skeptical regarding the desire for truth in the forums. Some of the most helpful and truthful players I've known are no longer welcome there because they spoke the truth and others didn't want to hear it. Because they didn't want to hear it, they reported, and because of the proliferation of reports on these individuals, they were invited to take a permanent vacation. And the fact is, because of the twisted way discussion of moderation was being interpreted, even answering people's question of what happened to whoever with I think they got banned was grounds for banning. I've moderated forums before. It's not an easy job and rarely a popular one. I understand the need for not openly discussing moderation, especially not with someone who's just trying to rule lawyer or justify poor behavior. But this is extreme, and some have said fascist interpretation is frankly ridiculous. Maybe the forum has changed since I voluntarily stopped posting there, but after the Funhouse purge last July, I found myself afraid to post for fear of being banned again, maybe even permanently. I stopped recruiting for my league. I stopped posting in a community that up to that point I had truly enjoyed being a part of, and I'm not the only one. Mepps, please don't think I'm blaming any single person, but if you really are the only person moderating the entire forum, then that is just another symptom that indicates the low value placed on the forum community, and you're being placed in a situation I don't envy. See, he's trying to be sympathetic, but quite frankly, fuck Mepps. Shame on anyone who thinks that is an acceptable situation or the type of interface a company should have with its end users. The DCUO forums once offered a valuable conduit between the players and the dev team, but after the Funhouse purge, quickly followed by the community division regarding the player inspection apps, led a lot of people to believe that truth is not sought after as much as being yes men, or as we would call them, fanboys. If truth is what the forums are supposed to be geared toward, then a lot of work has to be done to rebuild burned bridges because I don't think the message is widely understood right now. I find there is a contradiction here. You say you want the truth. However, one of the most common, in my opinion, ridiculous reasons for people being banned is excessive negativity. Wanting to hear the truth means you have to hear all of it, not just the diplomatic filtered truth. If it degenerates to insults, then sure, but if someone is very strongly opposed to a new feature or a game change, then they need to be able to freely express that with fear that after X number of posts, they're going to be suspended or worse, banned. We're going to talk about that more later. Oh my. I'm essentially the only person moderating now. He admits to it. Jesus fucking Christ. So you can take it on my word or not that there's no past grudge being held. I don't take it. It's post by post, or are you attempting to give honest feedback and continue the discussion, or are you attempting to shut down the discussion with insults and distractions? Are you inviting others to discuss with you or trying to frustrate others into silence? Get it down. Who's insult and distractions? You see it? Did you read all of that with me? Were you there? What part of that was insults and distractions? I very rarely insult my fellow posters. Ever since our discussion some months ago on Twitter, I've been extremely careful of that. I do have extremely negative opinions about some of the decisions made by DCO, but I didn't know that it was guideline violating. Excessive negativity is a ban reason I've never heard of. I thought the marketplace revamp was a cash grab. Oh, you 5 years ago, just wait until you learn about loot boxes. Uh, That is an opinion I feel I'm allowed to have, but I was banned for it. Saying that the marketplace revamp is bad is no different than someone saying the marketplace revamp is good. It's just voicing an opinion. I've said multiple times I thought it was a cash grab, but I didn't understand that particular instance was any difference. This is petty developers banning public opinion on a game most are paying monthly for, and for when the real concern should be in the in-game bullying. I mean, that's one of the concerns. In-game bullying is a real issue. You are the only person moderating is an extremely taxing job. I understand that, but instead of just banning everyone for the smallest reasons, I think you should have a look at the forum guidelines and think about which ones are reasonable. Most importantly, easily enforced and easily interpreted. Right now, these aren't easily interpreted. The people who never get banned generally never have strong opinions about anything either. I'm not trying to call anyone out. It's just us opinionated vocal people who suffer. Do I think the marketplace revamp is a cash grab? Yes. That is an insult. That isn't an insult at the developers. It's an insult to the marketplace. For instance, just because I think expert mods are stupid doesn't mean I think the devs are stupid. It's just my negative opinion about a specific aspect of the game. I don't think I should be moderated, much less banned for voicing it. If someone has a problem with my opinion, I have no issue with defending it or having my mind changed regarding it. Also, I understand commenting on moderation is violation, but commenting on the guidelines is not. This is according to the guidelines themselves. I was banned for that. Is there Better Business Bureau page? You better believe I'll be adding to this tomorrow. I've also filed a complaint with the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. Here's my current account because I have to come back under a new account whenever I get banned, or in some cases worse than banned. Here's this guy. This guy's Red Jenny. He's always been cool. Uh, he made a thread basically talking about, hey, if you get banned for a bullshit reason, the only person you could talk to is Mepps. Like, if you get banned, you can't make a ticket. You have to go through Mepps, and Mepps isn't a reasonable, understanding person. Like, he literally unbanned him, and he said, "You want to take a bet for how long this lasts until you get banned again?" Like, you want a final chance? You got it. Any takers on how long you last this time? Look at the way this dude talks. Does that seem professional to you? As in 2016. He's still here. He hasn't posted since 2017. I don't blame the dude. He's been driven away more than likely. He doesn't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I had all of my threads removed. Like, I got into it with one player because they were saying fucked up shit about me in game and on the forums, and I reported it and I got banned and they removed all of my threads regardless of content. And I can't post anything. Like, I literally have had 3 back-to-back 7-day bans. 3 of them. And the most recent time, he basically banned me for saying ACAB, which is synonymous with Black Lives Matter. So he banned me for saying Black Lives Matter. Like, what the fuck? You're a fucking racist. You're also a power-tripping bastard. And I get it. Like, of course, he's going to be a little nutty if he's the only one moderating the forums. And on top of that, there's a Discord that he's in charge of moderating the Discord and the forums. This is my old account.
As you can see, I was so well appreciated that at one point I literally won the forum member of the week. Like, people liked me. I had so many posts, so many likes. Let me see. 1,168 messages. Liked, received 758. 758 likes. You see, that's also from 2015. That's when a lot of people just decided to say fuck it and give up. And I did too. I left for years. I can't be a part of this community. It's no doubt a fault of the company for not having a quality moderation team, and instead leaving it up to one not so guy. But like, I posted so often, and just all of that's just fucking gone. And here's where it gets sketchy. Okay. So originally I was banned for trolling, and this has been well documented. Trolling just means you said something critical of the game, no matter how constructive. Now, there's nothing in the rules of contact or the forum guidelines that says they can tamper with your account, but that's basically what they did. They didn't ban me. Uh, they just made it so the next time I logged in, because I tried to appeal the ban on Twitter, because I'm like, well, who the fuck are you calling a troll? That's literally an insult. Like, you're literally calling me some ugly thing that dwells underneath a bridge. Like, what the fuck? So I like, you gotta, first of all, unban me because I didn't troll nothing. Second of all, you gotta apologize for calling me a troll. And the guy I spoke to was Radar X. He was a community manager, I think, for the Planet Side forums, but sometimes he'd come over and help out on the DCUO forums. Uh, and he's like, no, you definitely were trolling. And I'm like, no, the fuck I wasn't. How fucking dare you? Because it's very obvious. I mean, you could tell that a lot of people are complicit in what's going on. Because obviously I wasn't trolling. Maybe he didn't even look. Maybe he just said, oh, yeah, Mepps said he was trolling, so he must have been trolling. I don't fucking know. So, anyway, here's what happens when I try to log in. Well, let me make sure the password's right. Oops. Oh, come on. The I realize I'm taking a risk by exposing my username here, but what fucking ever. See what happens? Is this banned? Is this banned? This isn't banned. This isn't forum moderation. This is account tampering. And yet I created a new account with a different email to call attention to this, and I got IP banned for it once. Hmm. So yeah, that's what happens. You critique the game, you critique the monetization. Uh, they'll either fuck up your shit like they did mine, uh, or they'll just ban you. And if you get banned enough times, you get perma banned. So that's why whenever I come back, I have to come back with a new account. I'm just done with this shit. It's been well documented. Like, there's entire websites dedicated to documenting this shit. People have started WordPresses and Tumblrs, and there's even that Facebook site you saw. And they go into detail of exactly what they do, of exactly what happens. And this is just, it's well known by all of the player base. And it's time somebody fucking did something. We need to take legal action. Like, I think there's even a waiver in the new terms of service where you're not allowed to basically take legal action against them. Like, you waive the right when you sign up.
Okay, this is like my bajillionth take. I mean, that's not unusual. I often have issues with my recording software. I was using the GeForce I've been using the Twitch Streamlabs here, Twitch Stream Studio Beta, whatever, to record the videos. If the audio cuts out at any certain point, or if it glitches or whatever, I tried my best here. It's an emotionally draining topic for me, so having to do so many retakes, as I've had to do with every video I've recorded so far, I actually went back and stitched together the past 7 videos, and I'm going to be stitching this at the end of it. It's almost over. Please stick with me to the end. I don't know why you'd be watching this unless you're someone who is similarly invested in DCUO and its mishandling of the forums, and you want to learn more about the kind of shit they pull. I don't know, but most recently I logged back in after being banned for literally just saying, hey, it's racist of you to ban me for saying ACAB, because ACAB is literally synonymous with Black Lives Matter. And you're literally defending cops, which is something a Blue Lives Matter supporter would do. That said, I called him a banned. That might be one of the first times that I've been banned in the past few weeks that was maybe slightly legitimate. But it's true, he's a fucking racist. So, maybe not. So I found out that I can no longer edit my forum signature. This is my current forum signature. I guess it's fine as is. Look at that. I need to find the original artist. That's just such a great picture. Love it. So that's my signature. I can't edit it anymore. It's just stuck like that. And your privileges in the forums reflect that. This happens automatically after a certain number of warnings. And I say, you banned me for defending myself against blacklisters and called it blacklisting. Then you banned me for even mentioning my ban, the removal of literally all of the threads I'd made, even though none of them violated any forum guidelines whatsoever. You were just punishing me for reporting your friend, and you've been targeting me ever since. Then you banned me for saying all cops are bastards in a thread asking for an anti-hero morality. Then you banned thing to do. Do you know how many victims of police brutality there's been in this year alone? Do you know how many victims of police brutality there's been since I made that thread? No, I bet you don't. They're out here committing literal war crimes, running over protesters in cars, trampling them with horses, tear gassing pregnant mothers, the wall of moms who are literally just there to shield protesters, mistakenly thinking that the cops wouldn't sink so low as to attack pregnant women. Surprise, surprise, they sunk that low and lower. Knocking over elderly men onto the concrete and then walking past them as blood spills from incident reports saying he fell that were later disproved with video evidence, macing literal toddlers, attacking and arresting women and children on the way home who had nothing to do with the protest even, violating habeas corpus, detaining protesters with their hands zip-tied, sometimes in the back of vehicles and sometimes outside in the cold, their blood circulation cut off, unable to use the restroom, no air conditioning, no medical attention, literally laughing as protesters with epilepsy have seizures, among other medical emergencies. Darren Rainey, a mentally disabled black man. Officers and the coroners covered it up and only came to light recently. I could literally go on forever, as cops have been doing evil, disgusting things like this since their inception, as slave catchers, defenders of property. And there are no good cops, because a good cop, by definition, would try to hold their fellow officers accountable, stop them before they hurt anyone. And any cop who does speak out faces harsh consequences thanks to the blue wall of silence, blue code, blue shield. Good cops are either fired or they quit, at which point they're no longer cops. But by all means, ban me for saying I'm uncomfortable playing as a hero, because all the heroes say foul cop heroes. You realize that, right? You're literally calling cops heroes. Even DC is slowly inching towards representing cops as what they are. This shows like the Titans and Black Lightning. They still tiptoe slightly around the issue, but you can see the way people's perception of cops is changing. And I cite 2 scenes, one from Titans, in which the new Robin literally beats the fuck out of a bunch of cops. And he talks about how when he was like on the street, they were the ones beating him up every night.
So now he can do whatever he wants. He can get back at him because he's Robin now. And this is the scene where, at the very first episode of Black Lightning, he gets racially profiled. He nearly electrocutes some cops, and then later on he does electrocute cops because they're fucking racist. One of them said, "Get your black ass on the ground," and he's like, "Wow!" Freaking zaps him. As he should. You banned me for pointing out it's racist to defend cops, especially in 2020. It's literally Blue Lives Matter behavior. Blue Lives Matter literally formed solely to oppose and silence the Black Lives Matter movement. There are no blue lives. Why are you defending them? Christ on a cracker, I'm done trying. Behavior is only unacceptable here because you and only you determine what is and isn't acceptable behavior. You operate with zero oversight and absolute impunity. Even not allowing politics is, in and of itself, a political decision, one that targets people whose existence is inherently political. The personal is political, as they say. ACAB is neither insulting or political. It's just a fact of life for people who aren't able, cisgendered, straight white men. The earth is round. Climate change is real. All is politicized and incendiary, but also factual and objectively true. You allowed personal bias to influence your decision, period. So that's the only thing I posted since I came back. If I get banned again, it's for that message right there. If at any point the audio cut out and you couldn't hear my reading of the entire message, you can go back. You should be able to pause and read it. I even zoomed in a little.
All right. So in previous, first of all, new mic. So if it sounds different, that's why. In previous posts, I showed off that response that Mepps made that was misleading about what the issue was, where he says political discussion is against the forum rules. You'll want to take any conversation private, not in a recruitment thread, and anyone can invite or remove whomever they want from their league. And the issue was that they were slandering me, blacklisting me, saying I said something I would never, ever, ever in a million years say, like some QAnon bullshit. And I'm a hard leftist. I would never say that kind of bullshit. They tried to say that I called Bernie Sanders a Nazi plant. I reported them. I woke up the next day banned, and this was his response after he snipped all my posts. So I tried responding to him. That's also recorded if you're this far in the video, because once again, I'm going to be slapping this onto the end of that compilation video where I stitch all the videos together. If you're this far, you already know what I'm talking about. So I'm saying remove this post if you aren't going to allow me to respond to it without banning me for challenging forum moderation. Remove this post if you aren't going to allow me to respond to it without banning me for challenging forum moderation. Thank you, report post. So I might get banned right now for excessive reporting or some bullshit. So I knew I wanted to get it documented. Also, he responded to me. He says, "You have no idea what my politics are. None of these topics are appropriate for the DCUO forums. Please get out there in the streets and make the world a better place." I said, "You banned me for saying ACAB, calling it insults. You told me your politics that day loud and clear. Every action is political, people. Even inaction or silencing. It's all political. Being apolitical is in and of itself a political stance." Because you have the privilege to be apolitical. You have the privilege to turn the blind eye because these things don't affect you. So I said all of these topics are appropriate everywhere. There isn't a platform on earth where these issues
shouldn't be being discussed. If anything, it's inappropriate not to discuss them everywhere as loudly as possible, especially the DCUO forums. Do you not know how inherently political DC Comics are? And I'm out in the streets with protesters whenever I can get a ride, which so far has only been once, but being that I'm disabled, I face accessibility issues. And then I say, speaking of disability,
has gotten justice yet. I don't know if these motherfucking cops have been.
I linked to this TikTok that I uploaded on my Twitter from TikTok. I linked the original because, I got to give credit. But yeah, there was a autistic boy, a person with Asperger's syndrome, a 13-year-old boy who got killed by police. He literally just ran. He wasn't armed. He was having a meltdown and he was scared of police and he ran and they fucking shot him like several times, hitting him in the bladder and a bunch of other places. Like he's in the hospital last I checked, still alive. Hopefully still alive as I'm recording this. But like as an autistic person, as in a person with Asperger's, like this isn't just affecting people of color. It doesn't just affect gay people. It affects disabled people. It affects so many people. If you're a marginalized community, a person in a marginalized community, it affects you. So like this shit's personal. So for him banning me for saying ACAB, it's not just racist. It's disableist. It's homophobic. It's transphobic. It's just bigoted in general. And he's going to be like, you don't know my politics. And he's going to pretend to support. How are you going to pretend to support protesters, but then ban people for saying ACAB? The fuck is wrong with you? And then in the game itself, again, all of the heroes are on the side of cops. Fuck this shit, man. Fuck Mepps. Anywho, that should be good for now. I documented everything. I documented his response. And I documented what I reported. Just to go over it again. Here we go. See if I can't find it again. Yeah. So I reported that. Earlier I said, I bet like 4 of the likes are from like these assholes. And sure enough, yeah, Valzad War, Melisede Midnight, Nabella Rin. Only one missing is Cyan Serenity. Fucking assholes. Thank you, Mepps, and my apologies for any inappropriate discussion on my part. Bullshit. You fucking asshole. She didn't get banned. I got banned, even though she was the one going around lying about me, saying I said horrible, evil shit I would never say. She was the one who freaking started the whole conflict, and she said all that nasty, horrible, evil shit about me just because I criticized the DNC for being fucking complicit, for colluding to ensure Biden got the nomination. She got pissy with me and tried to paint me as some QAnon bullshit. What the fuck? And I'm the one who gets villainized? Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Anywho, that's... Alright, go figure. Frondor got banned. Even though I haven't made a single post on the forums, it's literally just my inbox discussion with Mepps. Nothing. I posted nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing since the last ban that I got. But because I continued to inbox him saying, this isn't okay. You can't ban people for saying ACAB because that's the equivalent of banning someone for saying Black Lives Matter. The fact that police are the heroes in this game, like literally every police base, every hero base in the game is a police district. And I literally just made a thread saying, hey, I think we need to change this up a bit. We need like an anti-hero, somebody who like doesn't follow the law, but is still morally good, as opposed to the just fucking like hero villain thing we've got going right now, which is really both of them are villains. If you work with cops, you're a villain. If you're a villain, you're a villain. Like just like there's no actual hero, aka anti-hero option. And I literally just made a thread about that. No, the thread included the words ACAB, and he banned me for insults. So you know what? That's racist. It fucking is. You can't
ban someone for saying ACAB and call it insults. You're defending cops. That's literally what you're fucking doing. And that's all I said. I said it in an inbox. I also pointed out how he was clearly playing favorites with the whole incident with Melocene Midnight and her blacklisting me, and then me being banned for blacklisting her just for saying, defending myself from false allegations, defending myself from horrible, horrible slander. And I got banned for it. Even though I reported her and her friends for saying the awful, evil, disgusting shit that they said about me, I'm the one that got banned. And because I disputed all of these wrongful bans with them, eventually he just kept banning me and banning me. Like, I didn't make any posts. I posted nothing after that ACAB situation. And he just continued to ban me for my inbox messages. So, and now I, of course, created another account to, of course, dispute the wrongful ban. And what happens? It gets banned too for spam. If you wish to appeal this ban, please contact a member of the Daybreak community team. And how do you do that? You create another forum account and you message Mepps, and then it gets banned, and then you have to dispute bans over. It's a never-ending cycle. Create another account, message Mepps, appeal ban. Ooh, look, you just got banned for spam. And it's like a snake eating its tails. It just goes on and on and on. Because if he doesn't want to appeal the ban, then he's just not going to. There really is no appeal option. Because the only way to appeal the ban is by contacting Mepps. The only way to contact Mepps is by creating another forum account and messaging Mepps. Even though that in and of itself will get you banned again. It's fucking crazy. Like, he tells players, oh, you got banned for spam because you created another account to circumvent the ban. And then he went on and he told me that if I want to contact them, I have to create another account. So he's actively telling me to do something that will get me banned again. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely fucking insane. They don't have an actual appeal option. There's no way to do it. I can't contact him on Twitter. I suppose I can create another Twitter to get around the fact that he banned me on Twitter from contacting the DCUO official page on Twitter. But then, somebody on Twitter could say I was using circumventing that's another thing you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to do that on Twitter either. You're not allowed to create another Twitter to try to contact someone that's banned you. That's blocked you, I guess would be the word there. So I'm just fucking done. He continually abuses his position as literally the only forum moderator. And he just does whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't care about the actual rules or the TOS. He just bullies anyone he doesn't like away from the community. And if I'm not going to be allowed to play this game and be a part of the community in this game, then y'all owe me my fucking money back. So that's that. Give me back my fucking money, DCUO. All of it. All of it. On every account. Because you continue to bully me away. You continue to force me to be in a position where I have to create a new account. And then I have to rebuy everything. You owe me every month of subscription every month of all access that I've paid for. Every bit of station cash that I've purchased, whatever else. Every bit of money I've spent on this game, on every account, on every platform, I want it all fucking back. Because this has just been a decade of being harassed by one of your employees, and I'm fucking done with that. You fucking owe me.